The idea is you put it in there with a load of other nibs, it's full of grit, and you churn it around for 2 or 3 days. And this, and then the next stage after that is you're going to raise it, and you don't want to be able to bend it. You want to keep it now in this shape. So you've got to heat it up.
Heat up?
Yeah, lots of heat.
What degrees? How about degrees? Temperature?
About that belt up there, that would have been turned around locally. And you're going to take it and you're going to sand the top a little bit. The final stage after that is you've got to put a slit in it.
Oh, okay.
And this is the best paint, and then it flows down. Yeah. And this, because we haven't put ours in the furnace, it's softening a bit more clean. But yeah, there you go. That's the finished painting. It would have been fined and it would have been docked from her pay. And there's a picture on the bench further along here of how little gaps they would have left of waste metal, much smaller, and they'd have gone kind of up one end, turned it around and gone back down again, leaving very small gaps so that they don't get fined. But yeah, who would like to have a go first? But yeah. Got to do it really quickly. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. A bunch of skeletons of like women from the Victorian era, from this sort of area, and they were talking about how a load of them have very worn down wrist bones. And everything from doing work like this, where you're just doing it repeatedly, and not just pen nibs, but other things in the area like jewellery and buttons and springs and things like that. That have got really kind of worn down wrist bones just from doing that repeatedly. Yeah. So the next stage of the process is you're going to pierce a little hole in the top of the pen nib. And this is partly because it kind of increases elasticity, it helps it hold ink, and it's also partly just because it's pretty, it's decorative. The one we do here sort of makes it in the shape of a teardrop, but you also get ones like this in the display cabinets. This one's in the shape of a little crescent moon. There's different kind of pretty designs. So this goes under here, and then you press down, and it makes it a little teardrop shape. So, yeah. A mark onto the nib, the name of the factory, where it was made, what type of pen nib it is, all of that kind of information. The stamp is not original, but it is quite old because they're quite hard to come by, which means that it's a little bit faded, and you sometimes have to be a bit aggressive with it if you want it to be legible. The safety cap is a modern edition. In the Victorian era, that would have just been swinging up and down, and you'd have had to have really timed when you were putting your hand under, and if you mistime it, it's going to stamp on your fingers and you're going to get really injured. But I do ask with this one, please don't put your hand under until the safety cap is back in. So I'll just demonstrate with this, and take this round, then put the safety cap back in, then put your hand under. Don't put your hand under until the safety cap back in. But it stamps onto it, Mitchell. Yeah, and I'll take that out. And then yeah, and I will put this back in. They're full of grit, and it had been churned around for 2 or 3 days. And the point of this is to kind of sand them down and polish them up, exfoliate them, make them nice and shiny and smooth. This is obviously a little model one. There's a picture here they've got pulley system, the barrels probably would have been steam powered. It's just much quicker rather than you sanding them down one at a time to put it in a barrel and just churn it around with a load on. But we're going to pretend we've done that. And then the next step is we're going to gently kind of raise it into a 3D shape, and this is where it's really going to start to look like a pen nib. So we're going to take the side that we've stamped the other way up, so the stamped side is facing downwards, and then the pointy bit towards the window. We're going to put it in here. Again with the safety cap, please don't put your hand under it while the safety cap isn't in. And take that, gently press it into a 3D shape, and it starts to look like a pen nib. Yep. Yes, yeah. The point of this is to stop it from being soft and bendy, because as we've just demonstrated with this machine, you can bend the metal too much. You now want to kind of keep it in this shape and stop it from being bendy anymore. So it's got to go in that furnace half an hour. When you've taken it out, it's going to be really dirty. We've got some ones here of you can see the difference in colour when it's been in the furnace. So it's got to go then dipped in sulfuric acid to clean it, shine it up. Then that belt is up there is going to be turning round, and you're just going to kind of gently sand the top to make that smooth. And then the final stage is you're going to put a slit in it, and the slit is going to allow the ink to flow. When you dip it in, the ink's going to go in the hole, and then it's going to go flow down the slit. And you want to get that slit right in the centre, really delicate. And if you mess that up, you've messed up everybody's work for the last 2-3 days who've gone before you, which is why this one is the best paid machine at the end of the process. Because we haven't put ours in a furnace, the metal is kind of bendy, which means that when we do it, it might be a bit wonky and a bit rubbish sometimes. So you can do it if you want. If you want to keep your pen nib looking pretty and just take it home as it is, that's also fine. I just give people the option, because sometimes they put a slit in it there. A little bit further forward. Yeah. Yep. And then put your thumb on it. Yeah. And then that towards the window. You can push back up. Yeah.
sure it's the right version. We've got that right, like I said. No, yes, so the intent is to roll out across the full estate in September.
Hayley Siano, sorry, it's the Poletti. The team